Well, hi everyone, it's Bernardo Moya here, founder of The Best You, and we're here, Facebook Live, and we're also recording it. This is, for anyone that don't know who I am, well, as I said, I'm the founder of The Best You, and we've got a big event upcoming next weekend, and we have some fantastic speakers. So The Best You magazine has been around for 5 years, The Best You Expo has been around for 3 years, and this Best You Expo is all about personal and professional growth, about connecting those that are there, changing the world, helping, inspiring others, to connect with, like-minded people that are looking for inspiration, seeking kind of ideas to succeed in business. I'll share a little bit more about the Best You Expos. If you haven't seen or heard about it, I don't know where you've been, but I'll share all that information with you soon. But today, as I said, I've got the pleasure of interviewing very quickly Jackie Fast, who is the Managing Director of Slingshot Sponsorship, and she's based here in London. Jackie, hi, how are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you so much. Thank you for being here.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Tell me a little bit about yourself and then tell me a little bit about what you do.
Sure. So I am actually the ex-founder of Slingshot Sponsorship. I founded Slingshot 7 years ago. I sold it last year. And it primarily works with pretty big global clients in securing funding through sponsorship. So whether that's for events, music festivals, Formula One, I'm basically the middle person in between those deals.
Amazing, amazing. And you're going to be speaking at the expo. So kind of what is it you do and what is it you share? What are you going to be sharing with us there?
Well, I'm going to share a little bit of both, really. I am obviously very good at kind of helping people learn how to generate funds through sponsorship for their startup, for their business, for their event. But the question I get asked more often than not is, how I started my own business. I started in my bedroom with £2,000. I sold it for quite a large figure sum. 6 years on, I was a female in a male-dominated industry. I was also probably 20 years younger than most of my competitors. And I think people really kind of connect with that story. So I'll be kind of talking a little bit about what I did to kind of help propel me in that. But at the same time, using some of the stuff that I do in my regular day job as well to look at how you can grow your own business.
Okay, great. And what does it take when it comes down to a startup or a company, to be able to attract those sponsors? What are they looking for, and what kind of advice do you give?
Well, actually, I've worked with over, a couple thousand rights holders, everybody from a TV show in Ghana to Richard Branson on Necker Island. And it is interesting because people have the same fundamental mistakes, and it's usually intuitive. So I've got a book that I've just written and launched called Pinpoint, How Challenging the Norm is the Only Success to Selling Sponsorship. And that book uncovers, I guess, how people are tipping themselves up, really. And if they just kind of overcome those 6 things, the doors are open. So the challenges, I think the challenges that people find in securing sponsorship are all the same, regardless of whether it's your son's 5-a-side football team or a huge event.
I mean, one of the things that we obviously find, or we found over the years, is obviously that, because you're talking about startups, but even I'm surprised sometimes how startups are able to raise so much money, either from an equity point of view, or simply just to raise capital or sponsorship. How is that possible when sometimes it's more difficult for companies that have been going on for a long time? To try and achieve the same thing. Is it in the way that you present it, or?
Yeah, of course. It's not just that. So, you can get a really great organization that's producing a really great product or service, and it's still not sponsorable because the value of somebody coming into it or your market, the brands that would sponsor it is too niche. Alternatively, if you were a startup and raising funds, that's kind of different to sponsorship. And although I do work with VCs and accelerator funds, what we look at more than sponsoring something that's in the startup stage is the potential for sponsorship. So if you were an app, for instance, will this app be able to get sponsors? And at what stage should we be making the investment to get sponsors, so that it's built in kind of at the foundation level? Because a lot of the times people kind of build an app or build a startup without the idea of how you're going to generate additional revenue. And that's actually usually kind of the tipping point of stuff as well. So when people kind of don't understand that or have the foresight to do that, the investment to integrate it is so much greater.
Thank you. And the other thing I wanted to ask you, so for example, with some of the with technology nowadays, and obviously streaming and online, is this something that brands or sponsors are more inclined to get involved in, or is it what are the trends now?
Yeah, there's obviously a lot of trends around digital integration, and technology has helped do that. Effectively, what sponsorship is speaking to an audience. So the greater you can grow your audience through digital means, technically, in the most basic sense, the value of your sponsorship should effectively go up. But it's not really just about getting your logo in front of a greater audience online. It's how you're engaging with them. So there's additional tools that you need to think about rather than just using online or sponsoring online. Otherwise,
okay. Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to your talk. Luckily, we're recording it all, and for those that can't attend, we'll be sharing it at a later date. Now, why did something like the Best You Expo interest you? Why were you attracted to speaking there? Share that with me.
Well, I think it's a really interesting event. I don't typically get invited to speak at these types of things. So I'm literally flying in from Moscow. I'm speaking to 1,000 people that are professionals in the events industry at BIMA in Russia. I'm typically invited to big corporate things that are, really about the bottom line. And this is kind of a bit more of a holistic approach, which I think is quite nice. It was just something different for me to do, really.
Perfect. Well, I mean, listen, what we find in this event, which we've been running for a few years, is that personal and professional growth means so many different things to so many different people, obviously, from spirituality to exercise, nutrition, weight loss, finding love or whatever it may be. But one of the things that I will say is that a lot of people underestimate kind of the value or the growing value of this industry. I mean, the well-being industry, which is kind of very broad. And I suppose the Best You fits in perfectly within that. It is a $3 trillion industry. But what I do find as well is that there's a lot of amazing experts which are really, really good. They have fantastic standards as far as kind of the reach, their marketing, revenue, and everything else. But then there's a lot of people that really struggle in really growing or taking their brand to the next level. Fantastic experts, great message. Maybe very eloquent speakers, but then they struggle to kind of professionalize themselves, to kind of step it up. Any thoughts on that?
Quite frankly, I don't do that much work in terms of kind of expos in general. I do think there's just always going to be a challenge with how you connect with an audience and what happens after the event, and what kind of takeaway tips you provide. So it's a combination of ensuring that speakers are briefed to deliver what the audience is expecting to hear. But I think actually there's probably a step for the event organizer or yourself to kind of follow on with their journey. Is there any kind of like after marketing or after tips or tools that the speakers can provide, the attendees so that they can actually up their game rather than wait until next year's kind of expo to hear it all again.
Yeah, no, I agree. And we come across that quite a few times where people will say, I want to take the step, but I'm not prepared. I need to wait another year. And, I think what happens when you're committed to getting involved in an event like this, and I'm talking more like an exhibitor or someone that's actually taking a booth to connect with people, is it just gives you focus on trying to make it happen and connect. And as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing like meeting with people live,
Completely agree.
Yeah. All right, well, with your permission, very quickly, I'm going to share the screen. So for any of you that are interested, this is basically the page of Jackie. So it's thebestyouexpo.com. And then if you look for the speakers, there's Jackie's talk. And it's going to be at 5 o'clock on the 17th. And it's in the Passion to Profit room. There's a little video of Jackie explaining kind of what she's going to be doing and what she's going to be sharing. But anyway, as I said, for those that are looking to find out more about the expo, it's thebestyouexpo.com, www.thebestyouexpo.com. And I am now trying to do that. And so if you go here, we've got the UK site and the LA. We've got the convention happening on the 24th and 25th of March. and then we've got the London one. And in the London one, well, pretty much that's it. You know, you've got all the information there. There's a show experience. You can see the floor plans, all the different spaces and rooms that we've got. We've got 9 seminar rooms, all themed differently with different kinds of speakers. A total of 160, 180 speakers, empowering women, health and lifestyle, best for business, networking area, yoga and meditation. We've got some fantastic yogis this year. And then we obviously have the list of speakers, and each of them, they're all listed here. Some amazing people. I've got to say, we've really noticed a massive increase in women speakers this year. I mean, looking at this, I think we're probably around 70%, maybe, or yeah, 65, 70% of women. And I love that. I think women need to come at the forefront of helping and inspiring others. So they're all here. They're all listed. We've got fantastic partners also as far as exhibitors. We have Psychologist Magazine. We've got A21, because we're creating panels. I think you know, but basically this year what we're doing is apart from creating awareness of personal and professional growth, I believe that the best you is making sure that we address the challenges that the world has. And that's why we're supporting some great causes like A21, which is, so we're doing a panel on slavery. We also support Great Ormond Street. We're also supporting and creating awareness on global warming, plastic, and the ocean. So there's a lot of some fantastic stuff going on as well. But anyway, there's a list of speakers, exhibitors. We've got Psychologist Magazine, Well To Do. So I wanted to say, Jackie, that we're honored to have you there. I thank you so much for your time, and I hope people come and see you. And thank you so much.
Ah, thanks. Thanks for having me. And I'm looking forward to it next week.
Take care. I'll see you there. Bye. All the best. Thank you. Bye.